What's good everyone, it's Zigzag here, welcome back to another Geoguessr video. Good to have you along on the channel today. In today's video, I'm going to be playing on one of the hardest maps in all of Geoguessr. It is called Plonk It Extreme, and it's basically a map created by the community which has just the very hardest locations known in existence, so it's a really fun time to play. Somehow I actually make the top 25 leaderboards here with a 14,000 score as my top score ever, so we're going to see if we can beat that today. The chances are very low indeed. Also guys, you may recall that a couple months ago I set up a 50,000 subscriber Q&A, and yeah, I never made that because I wanted to launch the merch with it. Now the merch is ready to launch. I've got it here. I'll show it off more so in the video when I do the Q&A, but in the meantime, you can ask more questions on this video. If you have any other questions to do with World Cup or whatever you want, make them creative, and I'll answer, I hope, most of them in the Q&A video, which should be coming up in the next week or two. So yeah, merch launching soon and the Q&A coming as well. Guys, let's get straight into this map, which is truly a very, very difficult one. Let's see if we can put together a couple of nice rounds here. I feel like I'm better at bait locations than I have been in the past, but let's see this first one here. Immediately copyright, you know, that's something that's changed since I played this map, but that helps us here. We got 2023. I wonder if this is a Israeli fence. Like, sometimes you do see similar ones there. The houses in the background definitely look more like Spanish or something like that to me, so Spain would be the default guess here, but I'm feeling frisky. I feel like if this is a hard round, it's more likely to be like Turkey or Israel, so I'm feeling Israel here. Now, Generation 4 in Israel is quite rare, but definitely the landscape seems to fit. The only thing is the houses, but I think I'm going to go for it anyway here. Let's see what it is. And okay, well, it's just Sicily there. So yeah, not a fantastic start. Makes sense with the houses. I don't really think they felt that Israeli, but I don't know. I'm expecting everything to be really difficult here. Okay, next one here. I don't think this is fooling me, guys. It's made to look European, but I think this is like American trekker on just some kind of random like park pathway. The reason is the houses feel a little strange. They don't feel quite right for Europe, even though they are kind of European in style with this kind of Germanic roof. And the second thing being that we have this light, which does not look European to me with the square design. So this kind of feels Western US to me. First thought was like maybe California, but I could also see like maybe like Denver or Portland or something like that. Those kind of cities all kind of work in my opinion. And this is 2011 copyright. That must be so rare in Geoguessr. But I'm gonna go in San Jose here. No, not San Jose. Actually, I will go in Oakland here. In the Oakland Zoo. No, it's not there, but actually not too bad. In Eugene. Not a bad result at all. West Coast US. That's a decent score for this map. I will take that, especially on a big country like the US. Next one here. I mean, these trees feel very European, so maybe I'm expecting that it's going to be Mexico instead. The truck is kind of... It doesn't feel quite like a European truck. It's a bit small or something. It almost feels Asian. But the road doesn't feel Asian. The asphalt's a bit too dark for my liking to go there. I mean, the trees really look like the ones you get in Romania. So I'd still just wonder about Romania here. I feel like it's almost kind of better. Sun appears to be more so in the north, but I don't think that can be right. I don't think anywhere in the southern hemisphere looks like this. So I think it's actually a European road. I think that's how it feels to me. And it's maybe trying to be like a Mexico. The rockiness on the side of the road does look like Mexico, I have to admit. But no, I'm actually going to go with my initial thought, which is Romania here. What's it going to be? It is Romania. That's actually a really good one. We're on to 2-country streak here. I think if I can get 5-country streak, that would just be out of this world. The chances of that, just nearly none. This looks like Russia, though. I don't mind that. Now, this is definitely one where I'd cheese it and find the copyright. But I'm going to go with my gut without even looking for that. Or maybe Russia's too easy, you know? Maybe Russia's too easy. Maybe I should look for a copyright. I don't know. I'm just going to go in here. If it was Russia, it kind of feels like somewhere around here. Volgograd, Astrakhan, this kind of area. They often look like that. I think there are some off-roads in maybe Volgograd that look more like this. I'll try Volgograd here. And, okay, not too bad. 1 oblast over there in Rostov Oblast, but that is a really good result. 3-country streak with a good score. Oh my goodness. This map is not normally so forgiving. And here we have some sugarcane and some oil palms. Okay, so my first thought was like a weird Peru, like somewhere like on the coast. But the oil palms, that wouldn't feel quite right. This should probably be Indonesia or something. Or maybe even, I've seen similar rounds in Philippines. However, I don't think you ever get this landscape in Philippines, just like kind of rolling landscape. Just doesn't seem like it would be the case there. Normally it's either flat or mountainous, and I don't really see this being there anyway. So then, is it actually Peru, or do we go in a place where oil palms are more common? That is the question here. I still kind of like the Peru idea. Just the way the kind of sky looks, and the Google car, yeah, it doesn't quite fit so nicely for Peru. I feel like this kind of just cut out white car is pretty rare there. But also, well, it also looks like we're driving left-hand side of the road. I think Indonesia may actually be the better call here, especially the oil palms are drawing me that way. So yeah, I don't love it because it doesn't look that Indonesian, but I feel like you kind of have to go there. And Sumatra or Java are feeling the best to me on this occasion. Do you ever get anything like this out here? Again, the problem is we're looking east and we don't see any mountains. Maybe something like this could work. I feel like that's not so rural. National Park, yeah, again, it's... So the thing is on Java has like 150 million people or something, so you almost never see no one. Whereas, okay, Sumatra, I can see at least that being the case. So maybe we have to opt for a Sumatra here and just say it's something really weirdly out of the way, you know? Even still, look how many people live here. This is crazy, man. And why did they build the city like this? Also kind of fascinating. But, okay, I'm gonna try this. I don't love it. I just hope it's not Peru. And it was there. This is crazy, man. That's actually such a good guess. And oh, I'm really sad we threw the first one because it was actually a gettable round. But we get a 16,950 score. It's my best ever score on this map. And we could have had a 20k. It's actually possible, which is crazy. But let's head through to the next one here, where we are looking at what? Some like UK action or something here? Maybe. So one little general rule, and this is like a pro tip, which I think a lot of newer players don't really know, but if you see the back of the car in Generation 4, that leans you towards Europe. And if you see the front of the car, like the bonnet or the hood of the car, then that would lead you towards North America or elsewhere. But it's just like a nice little rule of thumb. So we see the back of the car here, this is where the antenna would normally go if there was one. So we should be in Europe, theoretically. I mean, it's not always the case, just saying, but you know, it is a pretty consistent tip. The road quality is poor here, and I think the reason this is on this map is because it's normally a country that has better road quality. Okay, over here we have some like white houses or something. It's kind of hard to see. I guess it's even being Germany, you know. What's the copyright? I mean, again, I don't like to look too hard for them in videos, but this is 2023. So, I mean, I can see Germany working quite nicely here. East Germany is rumored to have the poorer quality roads here, so maybe just a Brandenburg send here could be pretty good. Although I think the trees didn't feel that East German, because normally you'd see more pines, more Scots pines out here. But, all that considered, I think I'll just go Magdeburg here as a nice little middle hedge. And I think Germany, I'm at least like 25% sure that it could be there. So let's see. And okay, we lose that country streak there, unfortunately. 4 in a row was great. I think 5 is almost unachievable, to be honest. But it was northern Spain, which I could have gotten, but it was always going to be difficult. I kind of thought France at first, or Italy, but yeah, not Spain so much. So that's okay. Decent score, got the right continent. Next one here, we have a lot of dark soil. This should be somewhere up in the Rocky Mountains in the US. Round reflectors, I think they're pretty ubiquitous in the US as well, Western US. Yeah, this could be anywhere up to like all the way on the border. I mean, let me actually be objective here about these trees. So they do just kind of feel like Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho kind of trees here. It might be actually like a Wyoming, which is surprisingly green or something like that, because Wyoming is normally like very beige and kind of ugly, but you do get these like specific little like national forests and of course Yellowstone where things look somewhat nicer. So yeah, not really too keen on that though. I still think like something like Idaho is more likely, especially because the trees do feel very northern. But then again, you could just see some Colorado. So I'm gonna go Idaho here, and hope for the best. Doesn't really feel like where I clicked though. I think I'd go further up here. Let's go in Grangeville. No, I don't know. I don't see anything that I really like here, because there should be some kind of valley. So not switching back here. Let's go, there's plenty of valleys here. Let's go in Colorado, actually. And it was actually all the way down there in New Mexico. That's why it felt so cold. I was considering the Canadian border, and it was actually all the way down there. So I guess it was a good switch in the end. Good score, but it could have been even better, of course. Next one here, we have a concrete road here. Combine that with a gentleman, he has dark skin, which is interesting to me. I don't think this is Africa. I think the vegetation feels Southeast Asian, so I guess we don't really get the best view of him. He is wearing a face mask as well, which is kind of interesting. I think the poles do look Indonesian, maybe. I don't really think they look Filipino, which, I mean, you know, Philippines roads tend to be looking like this, so that's kind of an interesting aspect of this round. I even thought maybe could this be in Panama? It's not out of the question, but again, I think the vegetation looks more Asian, so that's my call here. Now, if we are in Asia, then I thought Sumatra. I mean, I thought Kalimantan feels pretty good. I know East Kalimantan has concrete roads sometimes, so why not try there kind of thing? But yeah, I could see many countries still possible here. I just think Indonesia is the most likely. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go for it here. Let's see if we're right. Oh, and it was Colombia. Okay, so similar kind of vibe. And if we were in the coastal area of Colombia, he was actually probably Afro-Colombian. Afro-Colombians tend to live on the coastal parts of Colombia, so that was a 0-pointer, but honestly quite a gettable round. And yeah, concrete roads are also quite common. But yeah, that's the first 0-point of the video, probably not the last one. Next one here, we got an antenna, and we have a very wide road, and as we know, if you have a very wide road, you have to be in Cambodia. So we'll guess Cambodia here. Oh no, but in all seriousness, I'm really not sure what we're looking at here. Is this the US or... I mean, the antenna would suggest Europe, I guess. So, I don't know. What are we looking at here? I'm like, I mean, it's not Andorra, but it does kind of have that kind of vibe about it, doesn't it? This is some kind of runway, I think. The Google car's gone into a runway. So the rock wall here, that almost feels Turkish, but again, the antenna doesn't really show up in Turkey, so that's kind of a fascinating little puzzle here to be worked out. Greece. It could be Greece here. I really don't mind that idea. Just with the kind of very dark green trees, but the very dry landscape. You see that in Greece quite a lot. The problem is, yes, we see hills, but where do you see such a... Wait, let's look for an airport out this direction, I guess. So, okay, what are some bigger cities out here? Let's try this one here. Okay, we have an airport here. That's much too downtown. We need one that's kind of like a little bit separated, you know? So Patras, where's the airport in Patras? Do they even not have one? Okay, so maybe it's a bit further out. This could be good. Oh, I don't think... Patras is a big city in Greece, but I don't think they have an airport, actually. Which is kind of fascinating. How do you get there if you want to get there quickly from Athens? Maybe you don't. Okay, not to worry. What else do we have here? Down here? Kalmata? Kalmata has a one with potential there. The mountains are a bit too farther apart, but I do think it kind of looks like that area. What about Athens? Athens, yeah, definitely not an international airport, right? Okay, I might just go for where I have it at the moment. Yeah, because I don't think we're gonna have any airports in here. It just seems kind of futile to be scanning for an area that really shouldn't have one, right? So yeah. Corfu, yeah, doubt it. I mean, Corfu probably does have an airport, though. Ooh, yeah, much too urban, much too urban. Okay, and finally I'll check Crete, I guess? No, that shouldn't be there. Okay, I'm gonna guess here. Let's see if we're right. And, okay, not too bad. Oh, it was up in the mountains. What was this thing? Ski center. And I have no idea what this road was. I mean, honestly, I had the vibe right. We got the right island, even. But, to be honest, I'm never getting that because I thought it was an airport of some kind. Good guess, though. Good guess. Very happy with that. Next one here. We have some snow. And we have a European-looking guardrail here. Could this be South Russia? We have some kind of, like, Scots Pines, which is definitely interesting for the round. Something about the signpost felt Russian to me. The guardrail could also certainly fit for Russia, I think. And so if we're driving right-hand side of the road, then we don't see the back of the car. That also fits for Russia. Again, we have copyright here. It appears to be maybe 2020. I actually can't read what that says, which is probably more interesting for the round because the 2021 copyright is just particularly common in Russia. So yeah, don't really see that. That's okay. All in all, I would say that Russia in the Caucasus is the best option here to me. I just don't remember seeing that kind of winter coverage. Maybe somewhere around Krasnodar they have some. I feel like one of these roads did have some snowy stuff. So I think that's what I'll go for here. Honestly, I'm relatively confident. I feel like this blue bridge thing feels very Russian, doesn't it? Like, that feels very Soviet to me, post-Soviet somewhere. And with Generation 4, surely Russia is the most likely. Let's see if I'm right about this. And okay, not too bad. Actually ends up being near Mount Elbrus. That makes sense, I guess. Tallest mountain in Europe, right? So not a bad result there, and that was a 13,000. Let's go for one more here on today's video. See, we're on a 2-country streak once again here. And let's see if we can continue that. This evokes a few thoughts, right? So first thought was Eswatini, because we have really long yellow grass. And I don't mind it, especially because we have a lot of like eucalyptus trees here. So that could certainly make sense in that respect. It also does concern me though that I don't recognize it, and normally in Eswatini I'm like, okay, I've seen this before at some point, because it's just a country with relatively sparse coverage. Alternatively, we could be looking at something in like Philippines, Indonesia here. So I'm looking for any kind of fence here or something like that. Fences, I mean, it also kind of looks South American. But then again, you don't get this car in too many countries in South America. Like, it could be Peru. It's not another question, but I don't think I've seen yellow grass like that there. And then Colombia and Ecuador, which this round actually looks like, they don't have this Google car, nor does Mexico. So it's kind of an interesting one here. Why am I still kind of leaning Eswatini? I think it's because of all the eucalypts, which you do see in Eswatini sometimes. As for Indonesia, I don't think I can really place it. Though Philippines is possible, I don't believe they have this many eucalypts normally. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to go Eswatini here, crazy as it is. I don't think it's right. But then again, I don't think it's Peru either, so I'm kind of struggling to see what it would actually be. So yeah, I think this is just a really strange Eswatini, and if it is, Pig's Peak, something up in the mountains, surely. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. Let's see if I'm right about that. Wowee, Sabah. Wow, that's a hard round. I did, I guess, think that the vegetation all in all felt most Asian apart from the eucalypts, but I'm pretty sure those were eucalyptus trees, and that is not a good round. Okay, we lost our country streak, we got a bad score, let's load in here again. I want to get a 20k one day on here, which I just think is very difficult. Okay, what are we looking at with this very thin metal pole here? And some birches as well. My thought here, I mean, like, the obvious answer is like Czechoslovakia, but I thought maybe Bulgaria as a weird one. It could be like a weird Bulgarian, Romanian road or something like that. We have a lot of birches going on here, by the way. Could this be further north than I thought? Maybe in Germany or something like that. I mean, Germany could certainly make sense here. It's just like a weirdly poor Germany, maybe. I mean, the birches and the hilliness doesn't feel too bad for Germany, honestly. It's 2019 copyright. Okay, never mind. 2019, not that common. Mostly found in Western Europe. Most common in Sweden. No, it's 2018 maybe. Yeah, 2018. 2019. No, I think 2019 also might be quite common in Sweden. But yeah, it's quite rare in Eastern Europe, of course, because they didn't have much Generation 4 out there. So, Czechia. Czechia does have that. Czechia does have 2019 quite a lot. So I might try Czechia here. I think it's kind of the obvious choice. So, but if it is Czechia, then I think the bait thing about this round is how many birches there are, which are quite rare there. And I guess I would guess up in the mountains near Liberec if it is there. So I'm going to give that a go. And okay, it was nice. Yeah, copyright really helping there. Otherwise, I really would have been tempted by Romania, Bulgaria. But 2019, yeah, it's found around the place. But for example, like Norway, Czechia, Greece, they have it quite a lot. So that definitely helped. Okay, next one here. I have this in the most recent, I believe, Zigzag Challenge by a pro who included this in their map. I forget who exactly it was. Maybe it was Tilco. But yeah, it ends up being somewhere in Italy, and I guessed Russia, I think. Now, where in Italy was this? It was about halfway up the country, I think. Maybe around here. I don't actually remember. I'm just going to guess like this. Okay, it was actually a bit further north there. And what is it called again? I don't know. Someone told me the English name in the comments, but I forget. But yeah, it's some kind of a mine. Interesting one there. Good score, though. Good score. We definitely wanted that. Next one here, we got the front of the car, so yeah, this should be in North America. I guess it would be British Columbia here. It probably looks most like Canada. And we have big hills, so that would all fit. I think that's the best option here. We have like larchish looking trees, which is really interesting too. Also, a nice little rule of thumb as well, the blue car never shows up in Russia Generation 4, or in any Russia round. So yeah, definitely a nice little tip for you guys as well. But I think I'll just go here. I think this is most likely to me. I think it is British Columbia somewhere. Might be a bit further north, like out this direction, possibly even, or just around Prince George. But I'm going to go follow this, I think. And it's just down over the border in Montana. We lose our country streak, but we get a good score. We're actually cooking on this one. And here we have a... Is this a Bolivian or a Chilean car? I think this one might be Bolivian. And if it is, I think it was around Oru. Is that the case? Or maybe it's like much further south or something. But I felt like it might have been around here. So if we're there, do we have hills that fit? We could be around here. And it should be some kind of a national park, surely. Are we between these mountains here, maybe? It's possible. Interesting how they just kind of... There's two random mountains, and instead of going around on the road, they just built it between. I guess it's quite scenic. I think it's Bolivian one, not a Chilean one though. Unless this is this is not Kenya. Okay, I'm gonna go here. I don't know exactly where the car went. I think I'm quite far, but I think it's the right country. We'll see here. Nevada. I should have checked the sun direction, man. I didn't even think of the US there. Okay, well, we lose our good score here. Let's see what we would have had on round 5. Well, it looks very gettable, doesn't it? Again, the front of the car here. Again, North American architecture. I thought this might be Edmonton for some reason. Well, it feels very overgrown. Could this be Anchorage, actually? Well, I don't mind Anchorage here. Yeah, it just feels very northern. Like, some of these plants feel very strange. I think this is an Anchorage suburb. If not, I was thinking a northern Canadian city. I mean, Edmonton is still a lot further south than Anchorage. But yeah, I think actually Anchorage feels quite nice here. Not to mention that we are on a north-south angle here, so this is feeling very good indeed, I would say. Now, what do we have over there? Is that a school? Is that a high school? I don't think it's a church. Shouldn't be a church, but it might be a high school here. Let's see if we can... And we're on a lane next to a main road. I mean, this is fine. I mean, this is findable if we really... If I was that kind of guy, this is findable. I still want to give it a little look here, because that would be a proper special guess if we pulled it off. Okay, what? I'll look for the middle school here. Okay. Definitely not that area, though, just because the road is a little wrong. Yeah, it's like a double lane road. So, okay. Cooking, though. Cooking. Do we have anything here? High school there. Again, we don't have the proper off-road. Anything out here? I mean, high school is a pretty dime a dozen in a way. But I did think that that was going to be a high school. Okay, what about this? Ooh. So that was looking a bit better. Unfortunately, we just have this kind of nature strip between, which is very interesting indeed. Okay, what about this one here? So again, not quite fitting. What about this one? Okay. It is to our east, of course. This is another high school. Ooh. So that one almost felt a bit better, but it doesn't quite. Okay, what about this? Oh, man, they have a lot of high schools. I'm realizing that. Elementary school here again, not quite fitting. Could it be a church? I don't think so. Didn't really think it quite gave me that vibe. Okay, what about over the east side of the city? Otherwise, we'll give up in a second here. I just want to see. I'm a bit of a changed man. Ever since I used this new compass, which actually tells me which direction everything is, I kind of do like to guess a little bit more. Okay. Don't think we're finding it here, unfortunately. We'll look. I mean, I just kind of feel like we're here, so I do want to see if anything is possible. Yeah, I actually think there's like a disturbing lack of lanes and stuff in this city, to the point where I maybe even think I'm wrong. But yeah, I don't really know about that. I think it's still worth going for the guess here. What about up here? Ooh. So we have some like... No, don't know. Don't think it's worth going any longer here. Let us go for this one here. Postal service, could be. Don't hate that. But I hope it's Anchorage indeed. And it is Anchorage. Oh man, let's see what it was. Oh, this thing was so findable, but it was actually just some different buildings for government stuff or something like that. A inn of some kind there. Ooh, that was gettable. I should have looked for the nature strip instead. That would have actually been the better call here, with a lane next to it. That was 5K. Ooh. Yeah, but we got the city, which is also nice. So we have a score of 17.5 thousand to end off the video there, which I think, again, is another PB. Just imagine if we had have known the national park car, we would have had a crazy score with the country correct every time apart from just over the border. But Guys, thank you so much for watching the video all the way to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, let me know if you wanted me to get back on Plonk It Extreme. I like to save this map. I don't play it in between episodes, so I like to make sure all the locations are nice and fresh. But guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Leave your comments in the, or your questions in the comments, by the way, and goodbye.